Hey guys, good evening. This is Dave with Moneyology.com. Hope everyone is having a great day. Today is July 20th and we're going to do an energy sector review. Overall, I just wanted to mention I've been fairly bearish on energy for the last 6 to 12 months. When oil was around $55 to $58 a barrel, I was saying that we were seeing a lot of long-term negative divergence, and wouldn't be surprised to see oil fall into the low 40s, possibly 30s. But right now, what I'm seeing is a lot of positive divergences in the energy sector, and I think that oil is actually going to make a turnaround in the coming weeks and months ahead. So this is a good opportunity to look and create your watch lists and look at some of the better names for either short-term trades or long-term swing opportunities. Make sure you do your due diligence on all these companies presented in this video. This is just for education and entertainment purposes only, and make sure you recognize that this is your money and you're taking the proper steps to not lose it. Anyway, here we go with a couple of charts that I'm interested in. First is light crude oil, WTIC contracts. So this is, bottom line is what I'm looking at here. That makes me think that we're going to be in a bullish environment. My theory is you follow the momentum, and momentum has broken this downtrend that has been in place since the beginning of February. And whereas price has not yet broken out, momentum has, and we might see a little bit of consolidation here right below this trend line, but we believe that it's going to break to the upside. MACDs are curling higher towards zero, and we think that they're going to break to the upside. And so now that you see some positive developments in the sector, you want to take a look at some of the underlying names, especially the energy ETF. So let's take a look at those. The DBE, the Power Shares Energy Fund, similar chart to oil, where the RSI is starting to break higher. It's making a run towards that 50 on the weekly, and if you draw a trend line right here, it's already starting to break above that trend line. It's right below the middle Bollinger Band. The MACDs are starting to curl, and we think that this is going to break higher and ultimately make a run towards 14 before there's any significant resistance. Next, I want to take a look at well, I thought I had the XLE here, but here we go. Okay, so the XLE, the energy sector ETF, this is the one I wanted to show. What happened was, since the bottom of 2016, we had a nice snapback rally from when oil went from a low of 26 all the way to a high of about 57, and now we've had this bullish flat consolidation pattern, and now we're finding support right where we had several levels of breakout periods, and prior to that, several periods of resistance. And now you're seeing this support level. It's breaking above this bullish flag over here. MACDs are starting to curl above zero. Stochastics are now solidly above that 20 level. And notice here that although the price was going lower, the momentum was starting to break higher and certainly wasn't moving lower, and that's what you want to see. It's a positive divergence. So our first real target here is the 70 on this ETF, and this could mean really some nice gains for the underlying components of this index, such as ConocoPhillips, Exxon, Schlumberger, and so on. But we're actually more interested in some of the junior names, because that's where some of the best gains are going to be found. So let's take a look at some of those charts on our watch list. First is Pacific Drilling, PACD. It's found some divergence. So notice here, lower lows in price, but the RSI is actually flat. So this is what you call a positive divergence. Stochastics are starting to curl, kind of a double possibly triple bottom here on this RSI, and we think that there's going to be a run in store. We're already up 13% this week, and wouldn't be surprised that we make a run towards 250 in the coming days and weeks ahead. So a good snapback rally followed by some consolidation above the middle Bollinger Band, and ultimately we think this is going to make a run higher as oil breaks above 50, possibly going to as high as 60. And this is one of those names that can run to $5 to $10 a share. So want to keep that on your radar. Next on the list is Precision Drilling, PDS. Here's another one that's been flagging. So it's been flagging for a little bit here after its rally from 2016. It's basically retraced all of its gains. So it's kind of a double bottom here. But now we're starting to see some support here in RSI. It's been oversold, and now it's starting to rally. If you look at some of the other charts, daily, hourly, we think that there's some momentum being built here, and a rally towards $4 in the short term is definitely in the cards. Next on the list is Stone Energy Corp, SGY. This is one that I've been watching for a while because this is one of those classic bullish wedge patterns has been developing on the weekly and monthly basis. And bottom line is, look at this. Price is going lower and lower and lower and lower, but the RSI is basically flat to positive over this period. That's a very, very positive development in terms of positive divergence with momentum. At some point in the not too distant future, we believe this trend line is going to break to the upside. And when it does, I mean, the move can be massive. I certainly think a price of here 55 is a nice target. So easily 100% move could happen over the coming 6 to 12 months. So SGY, definitely want to keep your eye on that one. TK Corp, TK. It's been in consolidation since 2016. It's finally starting to cross zero on the MACDs. Stochastics are starting to curl. Now it's had this nice rally from $5 to just under $8. Now it's consolidating right above the middle Bollinger Band. We think that this is going to tag 10 at a minimum, but ultimately we think this is going to break higher, possibly head towards 20 if energy does break out. But another point here, it's above the 50 on the weekly RSI. Wouldn't be surprised for another push higher, followed by some pullback consolidation, and then a run towards 61 to 70 area on the RSI, which would probably be about $15 to $20 a share. So big gains ahead for TK possibly in the future. TK Offshore, TOO. Look at this move over the last couple of weeks. Bounce from 165 all the way to a high of 318. Now it's been flagging in a bullish flag consolidation pattern where we think that this is going to resolve itself towards $4 a share in the coming weeks. Notice here, this is a very nice move. So it was extremely oversold, bounced out of this oversold range. Now it's retested this 30 area. If it holds, this is going to make a run towards 38 on the RSI, which likely leads us to $4 a share. Next is Torchlight Energy Resources, TRCH. This is a really nice chart. Since 2015, even as the energy sector was, falling pretty hard, this one was racking up higher highs and higher lows. And we think that this is ultimately going to break out. This must be a very nice fundamental story. Don't know what these guys do, but for us, this is a trigger, buy trigger above $2 on a long-term basis, and once that's triggered, we think this is going to make a run towards $7, if not double digits. Next on the list is MNGA. This is one that we've been looking at on a short-term trading basis. Last couple of days has been showing some momentum. Had this nice little basing pattern here for several weeks, and finally broke out above this downtrend here, and it's finding a lot of supply, so it's having some challenges to rally, but we think that ultimately it's going to resolve itself to the upside, and that's a 250 price target on the weekly. Sorry guys, been getting over a cold here, so had to drink some water. Next on the list is Laredo Petroleum, LPI. Another one of those nice move off the bottom, a little V-shaped move. And this is a point where it's found pretty significant support here multiple times. So no surprise that it's finding it here, but what you're seeing is this downtrend that we've seen for several months. It has ended, and now we're above the 50, and so we believe that we're starting a new uptrend. And of course nobody knows how high it goes, but certainly a move towards 16 is definitely in the cards, and we think it's going to break to the upside thereafter. XO Resources, XCO, look at that move over the last week, 14% on massive volume. So don't know, haven't done the due diligence to know whether this is based on any fundamental change in the company, but either way, it's being priced in the stock, and so we think that this is going to be a big move coming in the weeks and months ahead as it gets out of this oversold territory. So a lot of upside ahead, $5 at a minimum. Next on the list is North Atlantic Drilling, NADL. It's been in a downtrend since June of last year, and it looks like it's starting to wedge towards a breakout higher. The thing that I am noticing is there's been some really nice, some really nice divergence. So whereas the price has been basically double bottoming at the 120 level, RSI is much stronger here than it was here when it hit 121. And so we think that this is ultimately going to resolve to the upside. So we have a target of 250, followed by some consolidation, followed by a breakout higher. Next on the list is Hornbeck Offshore Resources, HOS. Another one of those that's had this massive move on volume over the last couple of weeks. MACDs have finally crossed zero. We've had this retracement, which is very common once the MACD crosses zero. And we believe that once this move resolves, it's going to resolve to the upside, and we have a target of $5. So a massive opportunity here in the coming weeks ahead. Couple of names that we've had on our radar. We've traded in and out of a couple of these. ENRJ is one of them. CEI will be on the list a little later on. It finally had a breakout here after a multi-month period of consolidation. And there's clearly a lot of supply, above the 50 EMA on the weekly, but it's going to take a couple of weeks. But we think that this move is going to resolve to the upside, and this is going to make a run towards $1. In the coming months ahead. So definitely one you want to keep on your radar if you don't already own. So CEI is similar to the ENRJ. I believe they have some sort of merger discussions, if not already had some already merged together in some way. But look at the MACDs. The MACDs are well above zero, and they're in multi-year highs. That's very bullish. It's broken out above its downtrend since 2016 and on massive volume. So sure, it might consolidate here for a little while, but the more it consolidates, the bigger the bullish move higher. Our short-term target is 150, so possible big move here in the coming weeks ahead. A couple more names. Enerplus Corp, ERF. Strong consolidation here over the last couple of months, and we think that this is starting to resolve itself higher. So a break above $9 is going to send shares much higher. MACDs are starting to cross zero here. Stochastics are very healthy and showing momentum, so a lot of strength in this name as well. Finally, two more names. SID, I'm not even going to pronounce this. Compagnia Siderúrgica Nacional. Good luck with that one. But great V-type move after it broke out of this downtrend here. Some consolidation below the middle Bollinger Band on the weekly. MACDs have crossed zero, so no surprise there that there's a pullback in the cards. But anything above $2 is a buy. We think that this is going to retest $4 in the coming weeks ahead. Eclipse Resources ECR, beautiful consolidation over the last couple of years. Starting to show momentum. It's kind of retracing a little bit of its move from $2, but we think that it's going to find support on the middle Bollinger Band. So if it falls any lower, keep this on your radar. Good opportunity to add as it heads towards $4 a share. And finally, EcoStim Energy Solutions, ESES. This is one that we considered buying today. On any pullback, we definitely will do so. This can go as high as $2. We think that there's a possibility of a drop to retest this trend line either right away or in the next coming weeks ahead. But bottom line is, this downtrend since 2015 is over, and this is a new uptrend that's getting started, and there are a lot of good opportunities in this name as well as others ahead in the sector. So what I recommend y'all do is, if you don't already have a watch list, definitely want to gather a watch list in the sector and start looking at some of the names that are breaking out of these downtrends. Don't be disappointed if you miss these initial moves. The reason why I look at weekly charts is it really helps me define longer term trends. If you're trading in and out of a position, it's much better to trade in a trending up market if you're buying on the long side. So these are some good opportunities that are going to be had in the future. Wish you all the best. Please leave your feedback on our YouTube channel. Feel free to reach out to us and follow us on StockTwits /Moneyology and at Twitter @Moneyology. Thanks, guys.